Welcome back to the show. Check out these headlines. USD Tether CEO Paul Arduino actually takes a shot back at Brad Garlinghouse. Oh, shots fired. Get the popcorn ready. We got that and so much more. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and digperspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, $2.41 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is up 1.2%. Bitcoin, 62,500 plus, 2,900 plus for Ethereum, 110.8 billion plus market cap for USD Tether. We're going to get into it today. 50 cents for XRP, up 0.4 on the 24-hour, but off by 5.4 on the 7-day, much like the rest of the market here. Ranging between 49 and 51 cents. We'll keep an eye on it. What I do want to remind you of right now, if you have not joined, registered, sign up and register for Link 2 and the best private equity in the world, what are you waiting for? You don't want to wait for the case to end if you want to buy Ripple private equity. Now's the time to buy private equity. Yeah, where are my accredited investors at? That's right. Yeah, come on in. You go on and sign up and register at Link 2 and you tell them Brad said to come on in. Look, it's the best private equity in the world. And make sure you leave me some this time. It goes very quickly, but don't take it all. I'd like to get some this week if I could, you know. But I understand. I wouldn't wait for you guys either. That's the way this market works. Michael Brandt says alleged fraudulent transactions revealed by Truth Labs escalating as accusations against Ethereum co-founder Joseph Lubin continue to mount. Boring Sleuth is at it again, ladies and gentlemen. This guy goes down the rabbit hole and he comes back with the rabbit and the rabbit's family. Like, he doesn't play around. This guy's something else. So basically what he's done here is mapped out, he says, all the different wallets he believes that Joseph Lubin has held, and there are evidence of over half of Lubin's Bitcoin addresses allegedly used to purchase Ethereum during the ICO phase of Ethereum. Additionally, the group also claims that to have identified Ethereum addresses connected to the Genesis block 0, potentially linked to Lubin as well. Here you can see an illustration of such things. So look, there's more problems mounting up for Joseph Lubin. Remember, he's also being sued by people from inside his own company, Consensus, I believe it was, over the sale of a company, of selling off part of the company there. So there are things coming at them left and right, and now the SEC also with coming after them for a securities designation over proof of stake. So there is a lot of problems happening right now with the Ethereum network. And I imagine that it is probably for the first time scaring the daylights out of a lot of builders and developers that are on that network. And there's a lot to consider and think about as you move forward, no question about it. And Joseph Lubin has got his hands full. You know, I don't think we'll see that arrogant version of him too much longer, because at this point, you got real trouble ahead of you, and smart-ass arrogance ain't gonna fix it. Japan should be the role model for the U.S. regulators, according to Mark Cuban here. Well, we know Japan has just recently put out regulation, and also we saw, I think over in Hong Kong as well, I think it was, we reported, last week or the week before, about the ETF approvals in Hong Kong, which is not Japan, obviously, but that whole region is getting pointed in the right direction. And to that point, we have to remind you about Ripple and Hashkey Group and SBI, Yoshitaka Kitao, telling all of us that XRP Ledger is going to be a powered solution, starting with supply chain finance to Japan's enterprise landscape. Super excited about what's happening around the world. Then over here, Korean virtual asset service provider Infinite Block joins as a XRP Ledger validator, ladies and gentlemen. Infinite Block, a Korean virtual asset service provider led by CEO Young Jao Tae. announced on the 13th that it's participating as a validator in the XRP ledger. Love seeing this. This is fantastic. Love seeing it. Shout out to Korean virtual asset service provider Infinite Block. There you go. And then here we see more trouble mounting, apparently, as it says from Whale FUD. U.S. government is going after stablecoin issuer Tether, and there is a response here by Paulo Ardoino. And I would like to invite Paulo on my show. Paulo, I would like to give you an open invitation to come on my show. Now, I'll remind everybody that the United Nations says Tether plays a major role in illicit activity in East Asia. Now, this is going outside of the arguments we heard by senators made in the U.S. Congress talking about illicit transactions happening through Tether to help Russia avoid U.S. sanctions. So this is claiming East Asia. Now, this was back in January of this year. I'm just highlighting, laying some things out. Remember when Cynthia Loomis said of October of last year that she wrote a letter to the Department of Justice regarding Binance's alleged funding of Hamas by allowing USD Tether transactions. The list mounts, right? We know, right? Just showing you here, just level setting for where we're going here. Then it was Senator Lummis here who also said here just back about a month ago in April, the proposals, they put out the new stablecoin bill, and Lummis-Gillibrand proposal is positioned as a work-in-progress bill meant to start conversations and to be modified for melding with whatever version emerges from the House, she said. But as it stands, it echoes other previous legislative efforts in demanding a bank-like regulatory regime for stablecoin issuers. This is very much oriented towards U.S. regulated company, and so Tether, if it chooses to remain offshore, that's a business choice for them, Lummis said, and the company and the token USD Tether would presumably be picked up by other regulators and continue operating beyond the U.S. system. We're very focused on companies that are located embedded in the U.S. economy. Listen, we're going to get to this, but that just gives you the rundown here. This is a post here that says, well, you can pretty much count out Tether fraud under the new proposed Lummis stablecoin bill. List here audited financial statements, disclosure of all assets every month, disclosure of secret Tether loans to Sam Bankman-Fried, Celsius, Ponzi, etc. Everyone holding Tether fraud bucks is a Tether customer, not just a people laundering money with Tether. Soon, Tether will have to rebrand and call itself something other than a stable coin. Maybe they just call themselves a stable tokens. You know, and he's pointing out here things in the bill here that say no later than 10 business days after the end of each month, a payment stablecoin issuer shall disclose in publicly accessible manner a summary description that includes asset backing the payment stablecoin, the value of the assets, and the number of outstanding payment stablecoins as of the last day of the month. And then it goes on to highlight here, annually submit the comptroller, the state bank supervisor as applicable, and the board audited financial statements. It goes on to read there. And as you can imagine, it says the term customer means a person with authorized representative of that person that utilize or utilizing any service of payment stablecoin issuer with respect to an account. The name of the person maintained by the payment stablecoin issuer is in possession or control of a payment stablecoin issued by payment stablecoin issuer for which the payment stablecoin issuer for which an open account with the issuer is needed to redeem the payment stablecoin. So all of this comes back down. This is KYC AML. That's what we're talking about, right? They're talking about that clarity, which we know Tether did not start out like that. So are they switching over to that now? I don't know the answer to that, right? I don't. However, we do know that Brad reminded all of us there is something.
Do I think there's going to be another black swan? Of course, 100%. I just don't know exactly what it is. The only one that's going to be an interesting one to watch, and I don't even know how he calls a black swan, because I feel like black swan by definition can't really be, it's like predicted. Oh, didn't see that happening.
Yeah.
The U.S. government is going after Tether.
There you have it right there. Well, that is the second time we've heard Brad say that, and it's not for nothing. Now, Paulo Ardoino, the CEO of Tether, says an uninformed CEO leading a company being investigated by the SEC, launching a competitive stable coin says is being reported spreading fear about USD Tether. He's not spreading fear. He's spreading what has been known fact, Paulo. And we're going to see what's going on here. And I find Brad Garlinghouse to be a lot of things. Uninformed is not one of them. I can tell you that. But here's an update from Paulo himself of why he feels that all of this is uninformed. He says, let me give you an update on Tether USDT. And it's only fair that we give him a voice here. USDT is the most used stablecoin in the world. True story. With hundreds of millions of users across primarily emerging markets in developing countries. Entire communities across these regions are unbanked, left behind by the traditional banking system because they're too poor to be of interest, and using USDT daily as their checking and saving accounts. At Tether, we believe that our main mission is to ensure that our entire community can benefit from a safe global financial ecosystem. There are, in fact, different crucial requirements that stablecoins need to fulfill in order to become widely adopted. USDT proved over time that to have a strong price stability, high liquid reserves, top-tier custodians, and profound compliance. While all above topics have been heavily discussed in the past, today I want to share an update about statistics and key points regarding our global compliance work and cornerstone of the safety of USDT ecosystem. While I have revealed in many interviews the following information, most mainstream media news evidently refuse to report such data. Unfortunately, the narrative that they're most interested in spreading is sensationalistic against the usage of stablecoins and cryptocurrencies across the world, likely to protect the old guard of the financial establishment. Now, he says the real facts show how Tether USDT, leveraging the transparency of blockchain technology and working global law enforcement, is able to comply with requirements. He says Tether stablecoins respect OFAC, which is Office of Foreign Asset Control, SDN list. It says Tether has a highly trained internal investigation team that relies on a wide variety of tools to monitor primary core platform at Tether and secondary markets, blockchains, and exchanges. Tether's collaboration with Chainalysis, which just began, helps our teams to have the best-in-class software and training for proactive monitoring activity. Tether collaborated since inception with 124 law enforcement agencies across 40 plus different countries. Tether blocked more than $1.3 billion since inception, mostly related to scams, hacks, ML. Approximately 1.6 million is related to terrorist finance. It says Tether collaborated on a voluntary basis in 198 requests from law enforcement to block wallets in the last 12 months, 90 with U.S. law enforcement, 339 in the last 3 years, 158 with law enforcement. Tether blocked more than $639 million working with the U.S. law enforcement. Tether onboarded FBI and United States Secret Service for reissuances. Tether collaborates with Israel's MBCTF and Ukraine law enforcement. Tether cooperates directly with law enforcement agencies, while other stablecoins, although they claim to be more compliant, they require a judge order allowing hackers, scammers, criminals a long time to move funds around. Now, with that being said, I have to say this. So, you've been partnered with the Secret Service and the FBI because you've been so above board all of these years. So, are the senators lying when they testify under oath that USD Tether has helped facilitate illegal transactions for Russia to avoid U.S. sanctions? Because they literally just said that within the last couple weeks. And has it not dawned on you that offering a digital version of the only product the Federal Reserve has to offer wouldn't come back to you as a bad idea at some point? Maybe USD Tether is too big to fail at this point. Maybe it's even under capture by the United States government at this point. I'm not sure how hard this gets for USD Tether, but I am glad that I don't work there. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. We're going into the Freedom Zone, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yeah. Today in the Freedom Zone, we're going to talk about the five-dimensional world that exists that they don't want all of us to know about. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. Come on to digperspectives.com and click the Freedom Zone and come on in. All right, welcome back, everybody. Oh boy, we're here. Let's get to it.